Welcome, everybody, to a new episode of the podcast. Today's episode is a continuation of last week's episode, and we're calling this one The Problem Paradox. Thinking about it, could you just imagine a mega version of Donphan as opposed to what we got for the Paradox future?
Actually, yeah, that sounds pretty sick.
I do love the past Primal version of Donphan. I think that was a great design as well.
Yeah, Great Tusk, heck yeah.
Yeah, Great Tusks is another one. You know, we could look at Great Tusks. Actually, we should look at Great Tusks.
Yeah, that's literally like a mammoth. That's why it's also like kind of huge-ish, right, compared to like a regular Donphan. Actually, I wonder if that's another Pokemon that we should bring up in a sense too. The Great Tusk and the Iron Treads.
Yeah, I pulled them right up.
Yeah, because while Donphan itself didn't get a Mega Evolution, it did get two Paradox forms technically. So it's like
it just feels like the Paradox forms were nothing more than a reskin of Primal and Mega Evolutions, but done in such a way that they could call it something different. But it really, if you think about it, that's really what it is. Because Great Tusk does look like a much more primal version of Donphan.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, and then of course Iron Treads looks like a tire, but yeah, that's kind of what Donphan was.
Yeah. So like they literally went from like, oh, now he was just a regular rubber tire. Now.
I mean, I would have evolved him. I would have his Mega Evolution should have been like a tank tread.
That would be cool.
You know, he gets slower, but he gets hella defensive. Because what do we have? Donphan was originally, a ground type.
Ground type, yeah, just pure ground.
Yeah, Great Tusks is ground fighting.
Mm-hmm. And he can't roll.
And Iron Treads is ground steel. Yeah, it definitely would have been better as a tank tread.
Yeah.
The armor evolves into something that looks like a tank tread. It make him move slower, but, you know.
Yeah, in this case, though, he's actually kind of fast in his Iron Treads, right? Or he's decently fast, I think.
Iron Treads is actually the fastest of the three evolutions.
Oh, shoot. Okay, even better.
Yeah. Donphan and Great Tusks are actually on par with most of their stats, but Great Tusk is actually a little bit faster. It's got a little bit more HP. So between the two of those, Great Tusk is actually the better choice. And then when you compare Iron Treads to Great Tusks, at that point you're looking at if you want more HP and attack versus more speed and a slightly bumped up special defense and special attack, but you're sacrificing your standard attack and hit points. You know, and of course they've got their respective abilities. Quark Drive for Iron Treads, which isn't
and
tread.
Photosynthesis for Great Tusk.
Right. And then Donphan, who didn't get a Mega. Poor Donphan. Got Sturdy.
Sturdy.
Yep.
Well, I guess it's not too bad of a ability, I guess.
And so Donphan's ability was Sturdy or Sandveil.
Ah, okay.
Which, being a ground type, makes him amazing with Sandveil. And I'll take that any day of the week. I will. Sandveil is just such a great ability.
He's good, man.
I think stat-wise, I like Great Tusks. It definitely feels like a Primal revision when you compare it to Donphan. And Iron Treads, not a bad idea, but I don't like the design. And I absolutely I really have a hard time liking that one.
Yeah, no, I can understand too, I think. Because I saw Great Tusk, right? And then we saw Great Tusk first, technically?
I think so, yeah.
And then it was like, oh my Arceus. Look at that thing. Look how awesome it looks. It is huge. It is a mammoth. It is cool. It's got the big horns. It's got it's like literally, if you look at it, that could have also been just like a regular Donphan evolution, right? I think like if you look at like Great Tusk, it's like if it turned into that as like a third form, oh man, that would have been great.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Donphan as is, I love the thought of it. I love the idea of it. I love the fact that it looked the way they showed it off in the movie. was just like, I want this thing. This thing needs rollout. This thing is
Where
an
do I get
amazing
this?
character, right? And
Was
then when I
that
saw
also just like a silver version exclusive Pokemon too? Because I had gold my entire, like, for my whole Gen 2, but now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever found a Donphan or a Phanpy at all. That could just be me though. Maybe I just never got to the place where I can find them. Otherwise, I kind of
that was a silver exclusive. It was a silver. It was silver and crystal exclusive.
No, I never had.
But yeah, no, I saw it in the movie. I was just like, that looks cool. And then we see it for Gen 9, and I'm like, but it's getting an evolution. No, it's not.
No, it's not an evolution.
It's not an evolution.
It's a Paradox form. It's still cool though.
Yeah, that would have been great for a Primal revision. Because when I saw that, I'm like, are we getting Primal revision back? Are the Megas coming back? And it's just like, nope. No, we're not.
No Megas.
No Megas, no Primals, and then, so it was kind of disheartening when you think about it. And so, like, again, great tusks, cool design. It fits for a Primal revision. It really does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when you look at the stats between Donphan and Iron and Great Tusks, you realize that, yeah, that definitely feels like it should have been a Mega Evolution or a Primal revision in this case. And then you look at Iron Treads, and it's just like, what were y'all smoking? What were y'all smoking? I mean, the name Iron Treads, you would think that you would design the at least the armor part to look like a tank tread, and instead it just looks like a segmented wheel.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know they're trying to mimic the horns and the ears, but like, seriously, no. Just no. I hate the design on this. Absolutely hate the design.
I kind of hate, not hate, I kind of like and dislike its face too a little bit. Like how it's just literally like this screen, like its whole face is just like that one big screen that it has behind its supposed nose, right? Like it's.
I want to punch that face more than I want to punch Ice Cube's face. And then there's the typing: ground fighting for Great Tusks, ground steel for Iron Treads, and again, great typing, really crappy execution. And this is like one of the ones that I really hated the most, and I got Violet because I actually liked the legendary.
Oh, Miraidon, yeah.
Yeah, I like Miraidon, but I like a lot of the, and what was the other one? Well, since we're talking about
Miraidon?
No. There's another one, Slitherwing.
Oh, yeah, Slitherwing has two forms too. Oh, shoot.
Yes, it does. So we're going to move right up to that one.
Can you really imagine Volcarona with a Mega Evolution, though? It's definitely not Slitherwing. It's definitely not Slitherwing.
We started trying to compare between Megas versus Paradox, and now we're comparing Paradox to Paradox versus Omegas. So you've got the Paradox Slitherwing, and you've got the Paradox Iron Maw. And once again, you've got a Pokemon that could have, again, if they had done the Primal Revision or the Mega Evolution, I think either way they would have run would have been great on this. And Slitherwing just looks like a great Primal Revision, and being a bug fighting type as opposed to a bug fire type makes it interesting to me, because it kind of makes me wonder, well, where the hell did the fire type come from? I want to know now where that fire type came from, if that was a Primal Revision. And I think bug fighting is a great switch for it.
That is true. And like in another funnier sense too, what if they just did that just because like they gave the fighting type to Great Tusk because it's ground fighting? So they're like, hey, we know. They're like at the company one day and they're like, oh, Volcarona is a bug fire type, but it does definitely look more like a bug than a fire type. So what if we had to reimagine its second typing? What do we just go with fighting types as we can go to Great Tusk? I like that idea.
Dude, they hand out fighting types like Oprah hands out cars. But then
I do have to admit too a little bit, Slitherwing, for some reason when I do look at it though, it kind of still reminds me of like those Japanese like Yankee delinquents, with the pompadours and the long clothes.
I don't
know why, it just kind of does for some reason. I don't know why. It's a weird thing for sure, but for me, I just see that for some reason. I just cannot explain why. It's just the first thing that pops in my head when I do see it with its typing.
Well, then you look at Iron Maw. And, again, Iron Moth doesn't deviate too much from the Volcarona design. It just looks more like a satellite or solar-powered bug. And I know they've referenced it to the sun before, but it just kind of, they got lazy with this design. Like, it looks cool. Don't get me wrong. It looks cool when you first take a look at it. But then when you realize that Volcarona and Iron Moth share almost the exact same design. I mean, granted, so do the other ones, but like the other ones had little flourishes that made it really stand out. Like Great Tusks has those jagged fins that come up the side of on the armor plating, plus the red on the feet to give it a little bit more flavor. Iron Moth, when you look at Volcarona, there's like at a glance you would confuse the two.
Yeah. Like if you're not looking carefully, right? Because like one is like more sleek, and then the other one is more, like a bit on the bigger side. But then like, even then, like just because of the way that they're like their posture, and then just the way that how similar the design is in general to each other.
Yeah.
Plus, it doesn't help that the Area Zero, the lighting in Area Zero is not always the greatest. Not gonna lie.
And then, of course, you've got Volcarona with Flame Body, which is such a great ability, versus the Quark Drive or the Pyrosynthesis. There's something to be said, though, once again, if they had gone with a Primal revision on this, I think Slitherwing would have been amazing. With Volcarona, Slitherwing, and Iron Moth, like, I do really just Slitherwing speaks to me so much. Like, I wanted this to be a Primal revision.
Yeah, or even if they made it into like a split Evo 2, I think that would also be pretty neat.
Yeah.
Like, this is what happened to my Larbesta. He got too used to the ground now, so his wings are not working anymore.
I mean, I would love to see another evolution to Volcarona, or giving a divergent evolution to Larvestra. But Iron Moth, it felt like it needed just a little bit more to really push it to that next level, making it almost identical to Volcarona. It just kind of falls flat for me. And this is one of my favorite Pokemon. If I was to be a gym leader, I'd be a fire type gym leader, and Volcarona is almost always on my fire team if it's available in the game. Because Volcarona packs one nasty little move for anybody who tries to use Rain Dance. Yeah, I use weather setters to set up Sunny Day, but somebody's going to try and counter with Rain Dance, and Volcarona is my answer.
Hurricane,
yep.
That's the other thing too, like the typing. Like bug fighting, I think like definitely makes sense, right? For Slitherwing. Then you get the fire poison. It's like I don't see where the poison is coming from in this case. Like if you told me like Iron Moth was fire steel, I would believe that in a heartbeat, right? Because I mean it looks like a fire steel type, but now you're telling me it's fire poison? Where's the poison type thing here? Hello?
I mean, if you told me if they painted like the nuclear symbol in its chest or something, okay, I can get the poison. But you're right. It just does
maybe they could have changed the color of his wings. Yeah, maybe they could have just changed the color of his wings at that point. Like just make it purple or something to show off that poison typing.
I mean, something just to signify that. I agree with you. It just looks like it's just wrong,
Yeah.
It's just like this one, and it's funny because all the Paradox Mons have the same base when you think about it. But for some reason, this one to me feels like the lazy design.
Even more so than Iron Jugulus?
I forget what Iron Jugulus looks like. Which one's Iron Jugulus?
That's the Hydreigon one.
Yeah, that's another one that I'm having a particular issue with. Like, that one also looks like it's fairly lazy too.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. And it just loses its dragon typing, which I guess it's okay because it looks like a dark type, and it also looks like it's flying still. I guess it changes from the fact that Hydreigon actually has levitate, so I guess.
I don't know. I mean, we could go all day, and we're probably gonna go through some of the Paradox forms in future episodes, just to see where they could have actually employed this as a Primal revision or a Mega Evolution, and see what see where things went wrong. Because, like, I have to say, when we're talking about the Paradox Pawns that are in Scarlet, there seems to be so much more effort put into those looks, even where the smallest details are, just to make it look a little bit different.
Like Screamtail.
Like Screamtail, yeah. Like I know Screamtail. Like, okay, cool. Fluttermane, yeah. Like I can picture those in my head because those are very distinct, even though they look similar to already existing Pokemon, those guys stick out to me. As a matter of fact, fun fact, Screamtail was actually one of the first Paradox Mons I got traded to me.
Oh, nice. That one's a very psychic type.
But then, and even the Raging Bolt, okay, you stretched out his neck. All right, cool. But the design is that is such a great design, though, because of just the little things. But when you look at all of the Paradox ones that take place in the future, they're designed to mimic the existing Pokemon that we know of. And I get that. But the design work just feels so lazy. And I don't know what it is. I really just don't know what it is. And maybe it's the lack of detail. Everything looks made out of metal. It's a very flat personality, I guess, is the best way of saying it. One of the ones that have more design onto it, like Iron Moth, but Iron Moth looks so much like Volcarona that I forget that Iron Moth exists.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what are my choices? Iron Moth with its 4 weaknesses, 2 times weak to ground, or 4 times weak to ground? Volcarona with its 3 weaknesses, 1 being 4 times weak to rock. I think I'm going to go take Volcarona.
Yeah, it is a lot more bulkier too.
Yeah, stat-wise, actually Iron Moth has the better stats. Slitherwing is more balanced across the board.
No.
It gets more defense, it gets less speed, but it gets more attack and more special attack versus Volcarona. But Volcarona's got, I think, one of the highest special attacks in the game.
What's that? It also gets Quiver Dance? Oh, no.
Yeah.
And Fiery Dance? Excuse me? Oh, no.
I think we've pretty much covered these 2 Pokemon pretty thoroughly. Well, technically it's 4 because we're splitting this episode in 2. Just to start this whole thing off, I really do think that the Paradox Mons were just another Game Freak trying to appease the fan base who's been foaming at the mouth for Megas to come back and to have new forms and this, that, and the other. And I think the first tease that they dropped tempted to kind of coax that, but at the same time wasn't. It just feels like, and it does. When you take these 2 Pokemon into account, these last 2 Pokemon, it really does feel like it was just like, yeah, we have some Mega Evolution ideas, or we have some Primal Revision ideas. We're just gonna make it into a new gimmick. That'll shut people up. No, we want Megas because Megas are such an interesting idea. And it does help bring new life to old Pokemon that might be falling back by the wayside, And it should have been to that.
Yeah, because could you imagine if they just kept it as like Mega Evolution as a normal thing now? Out of every generation, starting from 6, right, or in this case 7, I guess, they would always have some new batch of Mega Evolutions or something. I feel like that could have been a thing.
I think
even if they chose not to put it in competitive, at least we had it.
I think really between the regional variants and the Mega Evolutions, they did 2 different things that work really well. And it feels like, okay, so we caught lightning in a bottle once, let's try to do it again with all of these different gimmicks. No. Stop with these extra gimmicks. Go back to the 2 that work. Regional variants are a great idea because not only do you get the same Pokemon, but now it's got a slightly different flavor.
Yeah.
Now you can do some stuff with it that you normally couldn't do. Mega Evolutions is another cool factor that you can employ to just bring up older Pokemon that just seem to fall flat with the newer meta. It's a way of getting them back into the fight, so to speak. And make them a bit more viable. But when it came to these Paradox Pokemon, it was just I had a dream, I had a wish, and I don't even know where they fit. They've been put into the Pokedex as a category, but are they going to persist? How are they going to persist this concept moving forward? Mega Evolutions didn't have this problem. Mega Evolutions, they're either available or they're not, but they're always part of canon. There's always a way of bringing them back. The way they wrote the story for Gen 9, Paradox Pokemon cannot exist outside of Area 0 unless someone goes,
oops, I just created a Paradox myself in my region.
Which, to be honest, when you think about it, is disastrous.
Yeah.
So, this really just feels like them trying to reskin Mega Evolutions to something different to appease the people who wanted Mega Evolutions, but they did it in such a way that it doesn't replace Mega Evolutions, which I think is why PLZA was done the way it was. It's just one of those things that I kind of wish that they did take into consideration and maybe expanded on, as opposed to just try to replace,
I know. Yeah, I think I get it. Pokemon Company, Do it. Bring all these gimmicks to Gen 10. Do it. I'm just kidding.
I think they're gonna have to Captain Planet this thing, man. By your powers combined, we are Jet. No,
we're gonna have terrestrialization. We're gonna have megas. We're gonna have Z moves. We're gonna have more paradoxes. We're gonna have more Ultra Beasts, more regional variants.
I think the only way to really just bring back the Paradox Mons is just going to be through like a store or something. There's someone you talk to, you do a mission, you get a specific Paradox based on your version of the game. So like, let's just say down the road we have Pokemon Cardinal and Pokemon Blue Jay, and Cardinal gets all of the Paradox Mons that you would have found in Scarlet. Some dude sitting there at a research facility going, oh yes, I have gotten this new Pokemon and I need some research done. Here, have this, if you can complete this quest, I will give you this Pokemon called Iron Treads, and you can, the Great Tusks, and I will, and let you help me do some research, yada, yada, yada. Or, you're in the Cardinal Blue version, you get all the Violet Pokemon, so it's like, I have Iron Dreads here and I need some research done. If you can complete this quest that I need you to do, I will give you this Iron Dread so that you can yada, 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 and you get one. You can cap it, you can do whatever you want with it, but you only get one. Something like that, because I think that's part of the big issue I have with the Paradox Pokemon versus the Megas. It's just really, they don't fit anywhere outside of the game. Megas, you could make them appear somewhere else.
Yeah, like and by that concept too, it feels like Ultra Beasts make more sense in that regard too, right? Because they're literally from wormholes, and I'm pretty sure wormholes can appear almost anywhere in this case.
Yeah, as much as I hate the concept of the Ultra Beasts, I would take the Ultra Beasts over the Paradox Mons.
Oh, whoa!
I actually don't like
Buzzwole.
I really have an issue with the Ultra Beasts. I really do. Like, there's design wise, they are bizarre at best. Although there are a couple that I do like. Xurkitree is actually one of the ones that I actually enjoy, and Stakataka, and what was the other one I like? Poipole. I like those three. But some of the other ones are just like, what? Like, I don't want Pheromosa. I don't want Pheromosa. Pheromosa scares the hell out of me. And if you live in the city, you know what I mean.
I hope you don't see that exact same bug, though, because I've never seen a white one before, and I don't think I want to.
Yeah, those... Okay, you know how tough the original ones are built, right?
Yeah.
The white ones are scary.
Oh, I don't want that. I really don't like the... I really don't like the regular ones. I don't want the white ones, man.
And with that said, brings our episode to a close. What are your thoughts about our critiques about these Paradox Pokemon that could have been Mega Evolutions and Primal Revisions? Let us know down below. And also be sure to share, like, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye-bye.